Well, welcome back my gardening friends. This is the hashtag potato grown in a pot of turds. So basically all I used was just pure horse manure nuggets, and I used the wood chips on the top just to keep the moisture in, rightly or wrongly, but it does help with the weeds as well. And straight away we found a potato. I think these were Marfonia, I'm not sure, but the bucket is very light considering the amount of rain we've had. And as expected, lots of lovely composting worms. It's quite dry actually. I'm quite surprised with all this rain. But nice. This could quite possibly be our best crop. I'm just making sure I've got all the baby worms off. They won't drown, but who wants to be bashed with an old bog brush? So, as you can see, there's lots of potatoes here, and I'll get them all sorted out. Now gardening on a budget, I might add more fresh muck to my potato mix. With the look of these, it looks like it adds very good drainage, because this is quite dry, maybe too dry. Food for thought. Very nice. Just one, I believe, has gone a little bit green. I shan't save these for seed because I'm not quite sure what they are, but does it matter? All those nice little ones, the granddaughter will love those. So it's the beginning of October, and yes, the whole place is in a mess. I uncovered those wood chips. I was going to sieve them while we had that nice dry weather, and it absolutely hammered it down, so that's absolutely soaking wet. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but today you're going to absolutely see the mess that the plot's in. Discarded bags from the previous potato reveal. Yes, in there was the last potato reveal, and as you can see, massive signs of blight, which have now transferred themselves to the Christmas potatoes. I believe that is frost damage just inside the door there. So I'm going to try and cut all those leaves off that are damaged, and hopefully we'll get on top of it. And a lot of the other tomatoes have also just gone rotten. Been a very busy boy, but some of them are looking extremely nice. And these grapes are absolutely gorgeous. I'm really pleased I've got this variety. It has got seeds in, excuse me. There's one bloom left on the pomegranate. I'm not sure whether that one will stay on. I'm not going to touch it. If it's going to fall off, it'll fall off on its own. But yes, I've got lots of tidying up to do. The dahlias that I overwintered in the grow room have done really well. Just need to take a few more seed heads off. These are the poppies. They need planting now into the wildflower garden. Those are the ones that the wife found the seed pod, and it accidentally fell into her hand while she was walking the dog. Still haven't bought these potatoes in. Wasn't going to move these anyway, because it had got a volunteer tomato in, and we've got one nearly get ripe now, and it's still flowering. These have got absolutely saturated in all this rain, so hopefully today I'll be able to get onto that job and get them inside, and hopefully they will survive. The giant potato experiment, that never worked, but the volunteer tomato has got some tomatoes on it, and it looks like they may get a chance of ripening. If not, it's not a problem. The guttering's just been dumped everywhere from the long route attempt for Malvern. I know the apples are now ready, so I'm going to harvest those as soon as I can. The pear that was on that tree, it just got some wasp damage. By the next day it had gone brown and rotten. And I've eaten all the plums. That's a grey burn. The second round of strawberries, little bit eaten, not too bad, but this rain has absolutely sent them rotten before you can do anything with them. But that's nice, excuse me. Just getting a few. I set this little corner up with logs with holes in, gone rotten, for some of the wildlife, and I've just been doing my logs at home and decided to use these smaller branches going to be stacked in and around here to help the wildlife. And as you can see, I've folded over a lot of these seed heads. That's looking absolutely beautiful at the moment, and all the sunflowers have gone onto there, and the birds are finding it a lot easier to take the seeds. The autumn gold raspberries, again, the weather's just absolutely knocking them for six. And this volunteer on this side is definitely an autumn gold. And I'll be transplanting that over the winter to a new location. Excuse me. How quickly the rhubarb suddenly collapses and starts rotting off. I got those 3 sticks that I got 6th at the Malvern show just in time. My thoughts when I sit here are that I can reach up and grab some grapes. Little did I realise that even this year I will be able to do that. Ooh, that doesn't seem quite ripe. But just behind me I've got some more. They're not quite ready either. More buckets of potatoes that need to go indoors out of the rain, so they don't rot. Need to harvest as many tomatoes as I can now. This large apple tree has done very well. It hasn't produced this year, well it did, but the birds took them off. I shall be getting rid of the strawberry towers. I'll give them to somebody else, see if they want to make use of them. And it won't be long in a future video to see how many of these have rooted down, and I'll get those transplanted into separate pots or planted direct into the ground. And I'll also be doing the tomato experiment that you can all join in if you wish. Not a competition. All it is to get your favourite tomato, whether it be shop bought or one that you've grown, slice up, put in some compost, and grow it next year. And as you can see, I've not been very good at picking the tomatoes. We've had plenty, but time has been an issue. So on that far side we've got the IBC with the manure in, and this is going to be where the other one is. So I'll have 2 IBCs loaded with manure, lined, collecting all the juices either side here. I think that's going to be a lot more beneficial with my new raised beds that will be starting in the next few months. I shouldn't have the storage, I shouldn't have to worry about the storage of all the compost that I find that's dumped in the side of the road by those unscrupulous cannabis growers. And the raspberries have met the same fate, mouldy, and we're getting the occasional good one if you can catch them, but every other day it rains and it does really spoil them, excuse me, but that's the British weather. I don't think I'm going to have the strawberries between the rows of fruit next year. Poor old Linda Penny, she's got a YouTube channel and she's been waiting for her runners for a long time. There'll be plenty of there, but again, it was another job I was going to do to tidy it all up. It gives good coverage, stops some of the weeds. There is a bit of a bonus. So as we move from plot 1 to plot 3, we've still got the recyclable materials there. I've still got to put points on those posts to stabilise the fencing. I've got the gate to build for this. It's just prioritising everything, and I need to continue to get those slabs in. The black currant bushes need their winter prune. I need to get that done within the next week or two. I'm just going to wait for it just to dry out a little more. That's red currants coming out, and as you can see, it's just madness. I need to be able to harvest the fruit easily, so instead of going from a bowl type structure, I may go to a fan to make it a little bit easier for myself. All the pegs are marked out, ready for the new raised beds, and as you see now, I've removed the wood chips. The weeds are rife, so I need to get the hoe on those. And this is the dwarf kale. There's the peacock dwarf. Yeah, okay, it's nearly at head height now. And reasonably free from pests, which makes a change. If you haven't seen the previous videos, this is all the spent compost I find on the side of the road. I'm going to spread that out once some of these have gone, rotivate it into the existing soil. The Belotti beans, I've already taken quite a few off. We'll be having these in our winter hot pots. The cobra beans are going to seed, which are the ones that are left. My long beans for the show have all flopped over, and these are the Pomgo beans from Bill and Val. I've just pulled some out and just hung them up there. Everything's just wet through, but I'll be growing lots of those Pomgo beans next year. They're absolutely gorgeous. And these are the second or third sowing of cobra beans. Whether they'll come to anything, but the flowers are just started to appear. Never ever got round to doing the fourth lot of pickling, but these Sabutio F1s are quite a nice beetroot, and there's some smaller ones there, so I might be able to use those. But while I was at the show, the seeds were £1, so I got 5 packets of sweet candle, some Sabutio F1, some yellow courgettes, and a few other little treats. Lettuce is now almost gone. Might be able to do better next year with the square foot gardening, and maybe grow some in the polytunnel. And we're still getting a few long beans. They need picking today, else they'll be far too big. It doesn't take them long to get to that sort of size, but now we will be leaving a few to go to seed. I do chuck all my overly big beans on the floor, and I have a fertile round and pick the best. The mice can have a few if they want. My Swedes haven't done very well at all this year. I don't know what happened there, whether it was just the growing season or what I actually put in the beds. We've took down all the old borders to the old beds. The wood was really lovely and dry. Of course, it hasn't stopped raining since, so we'll wait till it's nice and dry, and we'll have a fire to keep warm, but obviously it's in the way. I bagged up all my spent potato compost, tidied these beds up. A little bit of this lettuce. I really quite like this lettuce. It's nice and compact, and it doesn't get too dirty when it rains. So that's one that I'll be looking out for. It came in a mixture pack. Really pleased I've covered this up, but I think I'll use one of the polycarbonate sheets because you get too much rain and it flops in, but it's done its job. Pleased with that. And as you've seen before, the long parsnip, they're looking extremely good. 3 out of 4 turned out okay. Jerusalem artichokes, hang on guys. Well, I thought I'd supported them really well with the string, but I think I'm going to make a wooden frame for them because when the wind blows it does knock them about quite a lot. And I've still got that carrot reveal. They were planted on the 13th of the 7th. They're Nantes 5s. So see what we've got there. They were in the shade, they've done a lot better. I'm going to be taking down all the pipe work that used to feed the barrels, because everything's been set up. This cage is going up to my father's allotment, and that's where I'll be having the cabbages next year. And I harvested one of the red cabbage, and it's throwing out all the pups. The trouble is, the green fly is just an absolute nightmare. But I shall be trying to get as much as I can out of each vegetable. We've got 2 more red cabbage there that should last us quite a while. Again, another tomato plant. We've absolutely had loads, but it's been very difficult to keep on top of. As you can see, everything's scattered everywhere. I had the newspapers come, and I decided to uncover the tent. These are all the sarpos. There's a potato reveal there, one with added potato fertiliser and one with my homemade, so that'll be the next reveal in the future. Last sunflower, the harlequin. Don't think I'll be putting it in a pot again. It's, as you can see, it was near on ready to topple over. Taken all the slabs out of here, now it's like a mud bath. It's not too bad really. Did a bit of a photo shoot the other day with that. But these green cabbages and the red cabbages are still growing well. No signs of them exploding. Again, a lot of mess to tidy up. I do try and collect the rubbish as I go, but as you can see, that one hasn't got holes in and it's all flooded out. I'm hoping the beetroot seed comes good. That's one of the leeks that I didn't treat, and that's the leek that I did treat with the neem oil. They're all showing signs of the allium leaf miner bar from that one, so you know what I'm going to be spraying my onions with next year. And I'm a devil for not cleaning out the water bowls when I've watched the vegetables. Lots of clutter. I did manage to clear up this corner and get most of the pots all done and dusted. everywhere's completely full of water. Just take you slowly into the polytunnel. I've had a bit of a tidy up in here. All the supports are gone there, and he bumps his head. I'll be glad when I raise the polytunnel up. So that was my reserve for Malvern. Right. I've got to top these carrots up a little bit more to protect them from the winter. Can leave that a few more weeks yet. But now I just want to show you some of the seeds that I got from Malvern, from everyone that I saw. So this one was from one of the giant growers. He's kind of given me some of his beetroot seed. These are from Graham Barrett. He's done very well. Just pause this if you want to have a quicker or a slower look. Don't think I need to explain. So that was very nice. Nick from Nick's Allotment Diary, that's, as you can see, on NICKS. These are the sunflowers that he was giving away on the day, and you can see his latest video on the results of the sunflower challenge. Now Alan, who I helped early on in his YouTube career and blogging, has kindly gave me, when he saw me at the show, some of his saved seed. Which I shall really enjoy